Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, a couple weeks ago I did a kind of a reading on the special acquisition merger purchase of the Trump Media Group. And in that reading, I covered all the various lawsuits that were going on that could potentially have thrown wrenches in the works of that buyout. Among those were two former Apprentice contestants, Wes Moss and Adam Litinsky. They had made a deal with Trump about Truth Social. So they're like the first two people that did all the groundwork for Truth Social. And Trump is now suing them because he said they're incompetent at their jobs and they don't deserve any compensation. Let's see. They were the ones who had pitched the idea of Truth Social to him when he was banned from Twitter. Let's see. The lawsuit said that they were tasked with establishing corporate governance for the new company and finding a special purchase acquisition company that could take the new company public and fuel it with cash. It claimed they failed at both tasks. That's going to be kind of difficult to prove on its surface because the company got established and it got bought out by a special acquisition company. Now, if somebody else had to do all the work and they were sitting there eating bonbons doing nothing, you should be able to easily prove that. By the way, it's not even a countersuit. This is a lawsuit. Mr. Moss and Mr. Litinsky had a suit against Trump because they were afforded like 8.6 million shares of Truth Social, which at that time was about 8% of the company. Okay? So there's, I'll give you 8% of the company. That's going to translate to, now I forgot the total number of shares here. God, it was on here. Where is it? Okay, it's not in this article. But they had they had 8 million shares or 8.6 million shares. Well, Trump at one point was talking about diluting the shares or releasing another from 120 million to 1 billion shares. That would take their position from 8% of the company to 1% of the company. And now Trump doesn't even want them to have that 8% or even the 1%. It ended up being 8% because he never did issue 1 million shares. But he doesn't even want them to have that. I think I gave the analogy in that reading about everybody getting a scoop of ice cream and Trump got 6 and he's not too sure he wants those other people to get their scoops of ice cream either. This is pretty much it. So I want to read on the energy about Trump because how do you not see this coming? Of course he's going to try and screw you over. There's never, as Mary Trump's book says, too much and never enough. There is never enough for him. He justifies it by basically saying, without me, there'd be no company, therefore they don't deserve any money for for the agreement I made when the stock price is $70 a share and they've got 8 million shares. Why, from Trump's point of view, that's $500 million that should be his and not theirs. That's how he thinks. He doesn't look at wow, good on them. They did a bunch of work and they got really paid for it. No, he's just greedy as get out, man. Entertainment purposes only. What's going on with this lawsuit of Trump against these two Apprentice contestants? What's the energy around that? Judgment. Well, welcome to the wonderful world of Trump. Again, these are court cases. There's two lawsuits. One was to block Trump from issuing a billion shares instead of the 120 million. Trump gets mad and says, well, I was trying to get them down to, and here's really what it comes down to. Trump wants their shares. So he had 68% of the company. He wants 75% of the company. And they blocked him from doing that. So now he wants him to have no part of his company. It's all mine. Literally pick up your ball and leave. So these are going to trial here. Ace of Wands. It's mine. It's mine. It's all mine. You can't have any of it. I'll pull out my big stick. What's the one big stick Donald Trump always uses? The court system. You didn't give me what I wanted. You blocked me from instead of having 120 million shares of the company, a billion shares. And Trump would have gone, yeah. They blocked him. So he's going to pull out the big stick, which is his legal fights, and fight him back, thinking like, I'm going to take all their shares because they blocked me and prevented me from making even more, another $500 million, $500 million. They blocked me, and I'm going to make them pay for doing that. This is just petty retribution stuff. In the past is the high priestess. These are the guys that came up with the idea. They're the ones that pitched it to Trump. They did all the legwork. He just sat there and basically, once again, sold his name. Marketed his name. His quote-unquote brand. It was a genius move by these guys' parts. And to be honest, it looks like they were fairly compensated with about 8% of the company. And being that company sold for like $4 billion, good on them. We've had to deal with this garbage called Truth Social, but good on them. Actually it was $6 billion, I think is what it sold for. But still, they're allowed to make their money. 10% or 8% of $6 billion would be $240 million each for these guys. Why not? What's the problem? Oh, I know what the problem is. Donald Trump wants that money. That's why not. Duh, David. Current situation is the three of coins. Yeah, it's the two of them versus Trump, and Trump's going to stand up on his stage saying, it's me, me, me. It's all about me. And between the three of us, it's me. And he wants their money to go dark. I think he's hoping they'll settle and only take 1% and he gets 7%. He would love to do that. But what's also is he's trying to run them out of money because he knows that he can delay things in court. He's got more resources to fund against them to win, get them to back off. I don't think it's going to work though. And the reason why it's not going to work is Donald Trump's under a lot of financial stress. He can't afford to keep bringing up legal cases. He's running out of money. And his money's going dark. This is a big windfall for him if he can make it to 6 months and there's any value left in the company after 6 months. Yeah, this stock price, I think it closed in the 40s, around $40 a share. It's Friday, what is it, April what? I can't see the date. April 5th here. It's Friday, April 5th, and let's see. There we go. I've got notifications popping up on my computer screen that I don't want. The stock price closed down a lot today, and they're going to be lucky if it's above $1 a share by the time 6 months rolls around. Donald Trump's, billions of dollars might be $100 million by the time this is all said and done. Still, that's not a bad amount of money. It's just Donald needs a couple magnitudes more. Okay, bring in this lawsuit. Wheel of Fortune, here we go. This court case was going to happen regardless because they've already brought one against him. And to me, the Wheel of Fortune's also saying, what did you expect was going to happen when you get into a business dealing with Trump? Of course he's going to sue you. Little Donnie Two Scoops there. He's got to have more of everything. If y'all don't know the Two Scoops thing, when Trump was in the White House and they'd have dessert, everybody would get a scoop of ice cream and he'd get 2 scoops. Because that's just the alpha gorilla BS thing that he does. I think primate anthropologists or scientists that study primates talk about that behavior. I remember that from a couple years ago. So that's where the little Donnie Two Scoops comes in there. That and Hawk from TikTok, who has the little Donnie Two Scoops hoodie that he wears. The lesson to be learned from all this is the Nine of Cups. This is just who Trump is. He just thinks he's smarter than everybody else in the room. And it's all about him. If he wants something, he's going to go get it, and he'll use whatever means he has possible because he's a winner. Even if he has to play in his own course and not anybody else play it so he can be the course champion, he's always the winner. Out comes the Page of Swords. The Five of Swords going to the Page of Swords. Messaging, that's not buying the camp, but it's... This court case doesn't stand a chance. Honestly, he's going in acting like he's going to take them down, but his political arguments are weak. They're going to go in there and he's not going to have the evidence, and he's not interested in the evidence. He's just trying to scare them off. Roar loudly, make yourself look big, threaten that you've got a bunch of people coming to your aid, and maybe those other two will run off. I hope they don't. I hope they just stick to their guns and go through the process. Trump is so draining. Oh my God, he's so draining. Again, I'll be doing I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. It just depends on what the news cycle is looking like. Certainly by Monday's morning, I'll do a reading on the eclipse. I could do it tomorrow night. Just see what happens. I was struggling trying to find topics today from the news cycle to throw on. To the point that I went to Libby's channel and looked, what has she read on? So basically, if I could read on the same thing Libby reads on, I can get my video up. And then I can finally go watch her video and see what her take was. So half of doing this was just so I could see what Libby had to say about it and see if the two of us are lined up on it. I really do like Libby's readings. I'm so glad that she accepted Linda G's offer to be on her show because it's just an absolute treat. Another fantastic Australian reader for us to enjoy. Okay, where's my purple pin pad as I plug Libby's channel, Meister Tarot. It's if you look up Tarot by the Bay, it's on my videos that I like. Otherwise, you can look it up. It's spelt weird, like MAIG. Hold on, let's pull it up here. I'm not gonna be able to find it to go to YouTube. Sorry, I'll post up a link. If you're not subscribed to Libby, I'm pretty sure you are. But if you're not, go check her out. She's awesome. What's the result of this case? Two of Cups. An agreement, contracts between these two people, and then Trump, the Trump head, the center of it, versus integrity, illusions, delusions, and the High Priestess. Okay, so underneath, again, they were the brainchilds around this. They have a contract with Donald Trump. And this whole lawsuit that Trump's bringing against him is craziness. There's no integrity to it. It's like, what good is Donald Trump's signature on a contract if he doesn't plan on honoring it? I think that's pretty much how this is going to go here. My initial thought was, are they going to compromise? Getting some money is better than no money because you'll spend more money in court fighting this. But I really do think that Donald Trump doesn't have a case. And they know that. And they can certainly make that argument. We'll see how this comes out. How does this court case come out? We've got the Fool card. This is a new journey, new chapter in their life. After the Apprentice opening up this company, coming to an agreement with Trump, expecting him to honor that agreement. Ha! 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 Didn't you watch The Apprentice? I never watched The Apprentice, but maybe they didn't watch it. No, they were new on The Apprentice, and now they're going to start this business venture. And they're going to do all the lifting on it. Their idea, their brainchild. The situation is that smug merchant right there who, gets everything that he wants and screw the other guy. They have to overcome this guy as the outcome in this. Let's see. All right, there's the legal case against Trump. There's going to be a ruling on it. Hopefully it's fair and balanced. It's going to bring an end to this, and I don't think it's end to the guys. I think this case gets dismissed. It may not even make it to the courts. It might be just dismissed as a frivolous lawsuit. Outcome is the King of Wands. Yeah, there's going to be a judgment, and I'm pretty darn sure it's in these guys' favor. It's no, a strong judgment. A really powerful judgment. One of the strongest, most powerful judgments ever. I mean, I have people coming up to me all the time saying, "Sir, was that the most powerful judgment you've ever seen?" And they would say, "Wow, there's never been a judgment like that before." Oh, I can't imitate his voice, but he only says the same 5 things over and over again. Powerful, shiny, strong, unprecedented, never been seen before. People come up to me all the time, say, "Sir, I must be living in some Charlie Brown." He must be living in some Charlie Brown dystopian world where he's Peppermint Patty and everybody else in the world is Marcy. Always coming up and saying, "Sir." If you don't know what that is, got to look up Charlie Brown, Peppermint Patty, and Marcy. Marcy always calls Peppermint Patty "Sir." I think they're going to be okay on this one. How's Trump going to feel after? Might as well go on there. How's Trump going to feel after this case is decided by the courts? Really should shuffle here. I feel like I'll get the same cards if I don't do that. How is Trump going to feel about the resulting ruling? Of course, he'll appeal it, right? That's assuming that he's alive to appeal it, or has any type of mental faculties. How's Trump going to resolve this case? Will he appeal it? Will he accept it? How's he feeling about it? Queen of Wands. Oh, yep. What's my next action? After the King of Wands rules, what's my next action? It's going to be an appeal. Yep. Totally unfair. Biased judge. Biased judge, I can't believe I have to appeal this. Where's Lena Haba when I need her? Yeah, because he can't, he appeals it because he's losing. He's going to lose it. And he can't, he wins everything in his mind. He can't afford to lose it. Case is decided. It's not decided in his favor. It's the end of the case. He doesn't have an appeal worth doing. But it's almost like after the case is judged out, he's going to refuse to pay. Or, he'll do something to prevent, I don't know how you could stop the transfer of shares. It's their shares. But he'll take some action about, what's that Knight of Pentacles? He might just go out and defame him, I never met these two before. Totally unfair, totally biased. He has to pay. People are celebrating. People are celebrating. Strength card. He's going to appeal it because he loses the case. But the case is over. The appeal goes nowhere. He's going to try. He's going to try and appeal it. But there's like the way the judgment is or something like that. There's just nothing to appeal. There's no there. Basically, these guys can now celebrate. They've beaten Donald Trump at his own game. Now, if there's any money left in this company by the time they're allowed to exercise their shares, that's something else altogether. That's the question here. But, yeah. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'll leave a reading on the future of the stock price of Truth Social to another reading. The non-reading David, the logical thinking David, heck, the intuitive David. This company is... I read some article, something like they're charging 5 times the normal fees to short Truth Social. Because I think the stock market recognizes that this thing is a giant bubble. There's no value there. It has no business at $70 a share, $60 a share, $50 a share, or even $40 a share. It has no value. It has no business being above $1 a share. I think off the top of my head the other day I said 70 cents a share. I think that's being generous, but if Trump is vocal and supporting it, sure, why not? 70 cents a share. That gives it gives the Trump takes the Trump effect into the stock price. That should be more like 10 cents. Actually, should have no valuation whatsoever. How about that? This stock really should have no valuation whatsoever. They had $4 million in revenue and about $58 million in expenses, hemorrhaging $55 million of cash for their financials. No business being in business. And it's been around for a couple years now, so it's a money losing proposition, hemorrhaging tens of millions of dollars a year. Nobody should put their money into this. Just run. I would even recommend shorting it, because it's like shorting it gives it energy that it doesn't deserve. Just let this thing wilt on the vine, because that's what it needs to do. I'll leave you there with that. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my videos make it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.